And welcome back everybody for a very historic moment. For the very first time here on the CranKy Ducklings, we are not casting China, Taiwan, Hong Kong, NA, Latin America, Oceania. For the very first time, we are live with DreamHack Masters Valencia 2022 Europe Qualifier number 1. Welcome everyone, welcome. I hope you had a nice break. We were just live with the China qualifiers earlier. And we're back once again for the very first time. I'm of course your host, ZvP. With me, I will be shortly joined by the lovely casting jersey herself, Kuro, once we have our first series. So oh boy, it's been a long time coming. Again, we've been casting DreamHack for now 2 years, ever since 2020, ever since the pandemic, and we've been very active when it comes to the regions that we cast. We've been all over every single region. We always have marathon casts, but we always avoid EU until now. I feel like now it is time for us to go full degen, as I invite Kuro to a lobby in game. But we are going full degen. We're staying up, we're ruining our sleep schedule and going all the way. And I think if we pull this off, we're gonna be the first people to have ever casted every single qualifier for DreamHack. It's never happened before. Oh god. Oh boy. But yes, I'm just messaging the players. As you can see on the screen right here, right now. There we go. We have our first series of of the night. I say first series of the night. Again, we were live earlier. We were live earlier with China, but here we go. We're going to be diving into a ZvP. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket yourselves, as the bracket is quite large. There are a lot of players. We have a full round of 64 brackets, and 8 players will be qualifying to the closed qualifiers. There's a lot of spots open, but there are also a lot of players. Oh boy. And you can hear the beeps. We are diving on in. A dog. As I'm slowly dying horribly. But here we go. Our first series of our first European qualifier, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Pride of Altadis LE, we have the pink Protoss player himself, representing his brand new team, Team GDA. It is AZTEX. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Pride of Altadis, we have our Finnish Zerg player. He is blue, representing Gova Esports. It is Mixu. Oh boy. And again, for the time being, I seem to be casting alone, but at some point, I will be joined by the casting jersey herself. So don't worry, I won't be alone for long. And yeah, quite a series that we have ourselves. Again, the bracket is massive. There are a lot of series going on right now. It's a little bit daunting, and there's a lot to keep up with. And as a result, there are a lot of English casters. You know, we have ourselves, Wardy is here, Rotterdam, Steadfast, Zombie Grub. I think I saw Chicken Man. Chicken Man may be casting with Steadfast. I'm not 100% certain on that. But it's great to see other English casters, especially because, fun fact, we've been casting Taiwan, Hong Kong, North America, China, and usually it's just us, maybe one other caster. The other regional qualifiers just haven't been anywhere near as populated, so it's great to see that there is passion, and there are other casters willing to dive in and join us. So yeah, be sure to spread some love, open up your multi-Twitch, and open up all the other channels as well to try and cover and catch as much StarCraft as possible. Speaking of, here diving into the ZvP, AZTEX popping off already. Let's go. We see the gold bases being taken by not by the Zerg player, instead by the Protoss. Ay, ay, ay. Again, shout out to AZTEX. He did actually earlier today, less than 24 hours ago, join his new team. Again, he has been getting some really impressive results. He hit GM recently, but he's up against a more established player. As good as AZTEX is, Mixu is that much better. Oh boy, one of the best in Finland. It was recently announced that he's going to be joining Serral as a part of Team Finland in Nation Wars. So again, he's going to be representing his country, representing his nation, and we'll see if he makes it all the way to DreamHack, because already he goes across the map. He scouts, confirming that the goal base is here. We do see a recall, and now that we have a shield battery, now that we have an adept, Mixu can't really do much about this for the time being, but again, I'm sure his eyes are locked onto this gold. Oh boy, meanwhile back at home, AZTEX is going for a Twilight Council opener. Again, this is the problem about trying to take the gold as a Protoss player, is that you do have to invest a lot into actually maintaining the gold. Otherwise, it doesn't really pay for itself. And that's why, yeah, we do have a robo. We have some SimCity added here as well. He's going full Zest, as Zest did do this in GSL against Solar, I believe. I could be mistaken about his opponent. We have a full wall-off back at home. And AZTEX just used Recall. Bear that in mind. So he's going to have some limited ways of like defending his bases. And something quite interesting is that AZTEX is actually going straight into a Dark Shrine. Oh my god. I don't believe I've seen this variant of the gold base. We've seen players, as we see some probes bug out a little bit there because of the shield battery. We've seen some players go straight into like Mass Immortal and like Glaive Adepts. We've seen some Blink Stalkers, but going straight into DTs is definitely unique. We'll see if this works. Looking at Mixu's vision, he hasn't gone into the main base right now. There's no anti-air, there's nothing stopping him, but at the same time, you don't want to risk things, you don't want to lose an Overlord a little bit needlessly, and Mixu, for the most part, is playing pretty solidly. He hasn't committed to any kind of early aggression. He has allowed the Protoss player to get away with this gold base for the time being, and he's just working up towards roaches instead. Very bold. Oh! Ooh, Zeta barely manages to escape. So yeah, Mixu, there's nothing really too special, just some solid play coming out of him. I am a little bit concerned though, because we don't see any spores. We do see the lair on the way now, but he doesn't know he has to get spores ready. He's neglecting any kind of scouting here in the main. Oh my god, that's a lot of gateways. I mean, it makes sense. We are going to be seeing a 2-base all-in from here. We have a lot of minerals to spend. Well, AZTEX is very rich right now, and I guess, hey, make as many charge lots as you can, as we are going to be seeing that charge lot Archon all in. Meanwhile, DTs have revealed themselves. Ugh, again, no detection. 3 drones already going down. DTs heading straight towards that natural base. We do have more spores on the way. And yeah, we are going to be seeing... Oh, no, actually, no surround. We just see an evacuation of the natural. A lot of lost mine time. And this is, again, there are kind of layers to this engagement. First, the DTs kind of ruin the economy of his opponents. And then, bam, in come those charge lots. Finally, the spores are finishing up, and finally everything is being dealt with, but again, do we have an army to deal with the Zealots? Thankfully, there are only 4 of them. Despite the gateway explosion, AZTEX doesn't really have too much here. Overextending a little bit. Now that he's kind of showed his hand, I don't think Mixu is going to allow him to give him breathing room to actually get another warp in. As Mixu doesn't chase this off creep, he's being very careful about his defense, just pumping out as many roaches as possible. He's even droning up in the middle of this, which I think is a little bit ambitious, but we'll see if he can get away with this. Oh boy. Again, the DTs could have been dealing more damage. Like, oh, sorry, I should say they could have dealt more damage. So thankfully, it was only, what, 3 drone kills and lost mining time. It could have been worse. Mixu handled that incredibly well. And now with his Roach Queen, where are the Zealots? I feel like we're vastly missing Zealots here. Despite having 8 gates, we have a bank. We don't have a supply block, but yeah, AZTEX is lacking those warp-ins, and the longer this goes on, I feel like the better it is for Mixu. Now he's got a decently strong force, Roach speed is on the way, he's going to be going for a counterattack, and it's all going to be about whether AZTEX can hold on to this natural, or this gold base. Oh boy. Yeah, we only have a single shield battery here. AZTEX trying to expand, taking his 3rd base. Mixu does have eyes on this with this Overlord, so he's well aware that AZTEX has backed off from the all-in. And like that Roach army is looking pretty terrifying. Oh, and I kind of like this as well. Mixu, behind that Roach army, is going for Aspire. So Mutas are going to be the name of the game here for Mixu. And honestly, I feel like Mutas are a really smart choice because look at the base layout. The main and the natural are so far away from this gold base. It's going to be so difficult for AZTEX to defend both kind of areas of the map at once. So Mutas are going to be just pulling him completely apart. We see it transition into double Robo Disruptor, which again, this almost hard counters, or this is great against a Roach or a ground Zerg army against Roaches. Not so much against Mutas. The other big thing is that we don't have Blink. We do have Archons, don't get me wrong, but Archons are incredibly immobile. Like, the amount of anti-air that we have here available is almost non-existent. It's literally 2 Archons. Oh boy. But of course, the question becomes, are we going to be given time for Mutas to come out? Spire is just about to finish up. You could argue that Mixu is a little bit vulnerable at the moment when it comes to his ground army. But AZTEX isn't moving out anytime soon. He's just getting his production up and running, waiting for his upgrades. +1 just finished up, and we should be seeing those Mutas now that the Spire is completed. Roaches are going for a bit of a counterattack. I don't blame him. Mixu is almost maxed out. He needs to get rid of the supply. And this is the problem of going for this gold base. Like, your spread's so thin as the Protoss player. Roaches all over the place. Here at the gold, here at the third. Nova goes off, but doesn't quite find the connections that they need. Boys are being pulled at the same time. We have more Roaches here at the gold. Again, I kind of wish we had more Mutas on the way, but Mixu's maxed out. Like, he can't really do too much about this. And he didn't want to throw away too much of his Roach Ravager, because if he loses too much of it, he will prompt a counterattack. Oh boy, as in the end 16 probes have gone down. Finally, the Roaches are going to be cleaned up, but the damage has been done, and we're not done here, The Mutas are coming! As we have more than enough to one-shot those probes. AZTEX is trying to expand, he's trying to take another base. 4th is on the way, but we just have continued Robo production. Unfortunately, AZTEX hasn't been scouting. He doesn't know anything. He hasn't been going for hallucination. He just doesn't really have a reliable way to scout across the map, so he just doesn't know about the tech switch. Speaking of, here we go. Again, another bit of a 1-2 punch. The Roach Ravager is posturing to maybe hit this gold base. At the same time, Mutas are headed towards the natural. And here at the natural in the main, there is literally nothing that shoots up. Like, I think this may just be game. Oh god, he goes straight for the disruptors. And AZTEX may just attack. Like, what else can he do? As literally every single probe is going down at the natural. Here we go. He pulls the trigger. He knows that he cannot defend at home. He is going all in. But as he goes all in, there's a Roach counterattack as well. Muta's just fighting more damage. This is still a pretty terrifying army. It's pretty threatening. But if we just have more Mutas being pumped out, like, Mutas will clean this up. Again, 2 Archons, Blinkless Stalkers with +1. Oh no, the probes, they get caught out as well. Again, everything's in shambles when it comes to the economy of AZTEX. Nova's going off, and yo, we have a lot of Novas. I don't know if making Roaches is the best move right now, but I mean, Mixu is going for it. Oh my god! There's still so many disruptors, Roach after Roach falls, but is it gonna be enough? I don't know. I'm not high on the Protoscopium right now. It's maybe. He breaks his way into the natural. Oh my god, he's gonna be able to find all these eggs. Unfortunately, the eggs were only links, not the juiciest connections they could have been. And access knocked down to 30 probes, and here we go. Mixu finds his way up into his own natural, takes another insane disruptor shot to the face, but doesn't even matter at this point. The files are connecting, the Mutas are here, and AZTEX will be losing everything. Not just his army, but also game 1 in this series. GG, well played. Mixu with a very strong start, but shout out to AZTEX for spicing things up and going for the goal base on Pride of Altaris. Not something you see too often from the Protoss player. And as we get out of game number 1, this is where I ask, do I have my co-caster? Hello? Good up, you're muted. Uh-oh. Yeah, she may not be here. God damn it. So I'm still alone for the time being. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. Oh, God. Ah!
Okay.
Hello?
Don't worry about it. Look, I just went through the list of streams and we have like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 streams we have today.
Oh my god, that's a lot of streams.
Exactly, and I'm trying to post all of them and Twitter limit is not enjoying this.
I just sent you a lobby link, Kuro. I just sent you a lobby link. But yes, for those who do not know, myself and Kuro, we run StarCraft esports on Twitter and on Facebook, and whenever a big event goes live, we try our best to post about it, and in those posts, we post typically every single language stream, every single English stream as well, just to spread as much news about it as possible. It's something that we've been doing for a very long time. It's one of the many projects in StarCraft that we are a part of. So yeah, because that sometimes it can be awkward when Kuro casts, because she's also got to post that as well.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Yes. So
and this is EU always has a lot of streams, a lot of streaming coverage. So
yeah,
takes a little longer there.
There is. But welcome, Kuro. Welcome to the stream. Hello.
Hello. It's been so long since you've heard me, huh?
It has. It's been less than a day.
Exactly. I went to bed at 3 a.m. after casting an A, and now I'm here.
There you go. Be thankful you didn't have to cast DreamHack China as well.
I am very thankful. I do not. I can't Chinese. So.
I
mean, to be fair, Yaku can't either. So.
He cannot. The worst part is that he thinks he can, but he can't. That's the worst part. Oh god.
That is the worst part. It's scary.
Yeah. But yes, thank you so much for joining me here. And again, shout out to Kuro for posting on StarCraft esports and spreading as much news as possible about all the streams that are going live. Oh boy. And personally, again, I don't know if you heard, but I feel very lucky that we were able to catch that game.
I admit I was listening to it with like 1 ear, but it did sound exciting.
Man, we had a goal base. We had a goal.
Nice.
But here we go. You can hear the beeps, people. We are loading into game number 2. I can see Muppet in the chat. There are way too many streams I want to see at the same time. Yeah, it's a lot of streams.
There is a lot of streams.
But this is the only stream that has these 2 players.
Exactly. And this is the only stream that has ducks in it. Quack. And we are now in the game. We're all in the game now. Yay! We are on Curious Minds LE and we are looking at the base of the pink Protoss player, representing GDA team since today, and Hungary. It is AZTEX.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Curious Minds LE, we have the Finnish Zerg player himself representing Kova Esports. It is Mixu.
I feel like this is an interesting matchup because I mean you did mention it in the previous game, but Mixu was one of in the group of people who played in our amateur tournaments when they started in like 2017. Like he was one of those first players, the first 100 because yes, I do have ID on all players. So he is 41, I believe. So it's like way on the beginning of our tournament.
Wow.
And then AZTEX is someone who has been like very active recently in like all sorts of weeklies around StarCraft. So
Mhm.
it's like those two. It's like two amateurs like rising the ranks. Obviously, Mixu is a bit ahead because he started first, but
Mhm.
like it's just interesting to see the whole journey.
Yeah, we kind of have our own history with Mixu, where we were able to cast him when he was Diamond, you know? Before there was any inkling that he would become a pro player, so we're kind of a little bit lucky in that respect, that we were able to catch him at such an early age, and it's great to see him kind of grow into the player that he has now become, you know? We have a couple of stories like that. And yeah, now he's a great player. He's ahead in this series. He's the favorite in this series, and he may go all the way. He's definitely someone that I'm looking at to potentially qualify for the closed qualifiers.
Yeah, definitely. That said, I will not discount AZTEX because, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't he take a game of Demi in one of our recent tournaments?
Yes.
And that's a Zerg player, so hey, you never know.
True. You know, AZTEX, he can be very aggressive, and he's got a lot of different builds up his sleeve, and we saw some of that in game 1. Unfortunately, it didn't really come to fruition. He was going for a charged out Archon all-in, and it was kind of stopped before it started. And then he had to kind of awkwardly transition into a weird mid-game on Pride of Altaris, where like his bases were so spread out, like it just never was gonna work. So yeah, it was a bit of an awkward game because of that. Hopefully he's able to tighten things up here in game 2 because there's no lower bracket, you know?
Oh yeah, there is no lower bracket in these tournaments. I mean, there is always a second chance, there is a second qualifier, and in these EU qualifiers you do have a lot of qualifying spots. But there is also a lot of players. A lot of really good players.
Yeah. Aye. So we'll see if we have an ace match before us. Meanwhile, AZTEX once again is going for a Dark Shrine.
Ooh. Okay. I see you. I don't think Mixu has a lair yet, correct me if I'm wrong, so there will be no overseers.
Yeah, unfortunately, Mixu is here in the natural, and he is scouting the initial units coming out. He knows that it's not a Stargate opener, otherwise there wouldn't be a Stalker. So he knows it is ground focus, he knows there's a Twilight Council, but what exactly is difficult to say. You know, it could be Glaive Adepts, it could be Charge. He hasn't gone into the main base, he is in the dark.
Yeah, indeed. Ooh, nice catch on the Adept from Mixu. So AZTEX is not gonna be getting any damage or even scouting information, as Mixu is going for roaches.
Yeah, again, pretty standard play from Mixu. He's droning up to 43 workers. He has a decent amount of lings here. No! The DTs reveal themselves killing these lings? Questionable move.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Oh,
And now the Archon is he's also getting recalled.
That's a kill! No, and now the third... It's all coming apart. It's all coming apart for AZTEX. Not like this.
Not like this. AZTEX, please.
The DTs are revealed. Spores have been thrown down here at the third base. The Archon was killed. Third base is denied. This is not how you want to be starting out game 2.
Yeah, definitely. To be fair, the spores were already being thrown down before the DTs were revealed, but even then, I don't think he wanted to show them right here and then.
Yeah, unfortunately, it just looks like he decided, you know what, these CCs aren't going to be dealing any damage. I'm going to try and expand and take a third base, but Mixu was so on point with all of this, with his lings, with his control, and now AZTEX is just behind. His opener didn't achieve anything. His third base is now late, and his tech is delayed as well. Like, going for DTs means that Blink is that much later as well.
Yes, indeed. And this whole huge cloud of Zerglings is actually very worrying because at any point it can just run into the turret and cancel it again.
Yeah, as soon as AZTEX leaves, the Lings come in, and this third base, it's not gonna finish. It's never gonna finish. Cancel, puppy, cancel! He does cancel in time, but again, just stuck on 2 bases.
Yeah, stuck on 2 bases. Even the shield battery did fall down, so there's no like support for this army trying to defend this turret. And this is only a harassment force. This is like not the main attack of Mixu. Like he's preparing roaches behind this.
Yeah, exactly. Like the Lings were never meant to do this much damage. That's why he's so far ahead. The Lings have kind of surpassed any kind of expectations. Mixu is taking a 4th base. He's got a lair up. He could be going Mass Roach Ravager, but he wants to end things in style. He's going for a Spire. He wants to go for his meters.
Do you think it's meters?
Oh yeah.
Okay. As he also scouts the whole base of AZTEX as well, so he now knows exactly what tech is going out there. I mean, he does not know if it's Blink, but I guess he can sort of assume, not seeing anything, any like other units on the ground right now.
Yeah. Blink is the most likely candidate. The other thing is it could be Charge, I guess. So he's gambling a little bit. As a reminder, last game he played just like this. He went Roach Ravager into Mutas. And AZTEX didn't have Blink on his Stalkers. He had a really hard time at the Mutas, basically just ended the game. This time AZTEX will have Blink, so he will have a little bit better anti-air. So it's not going to be as one-sided of an engagement. But still, he is struggling to catch up.
Yes, indeed. Oh wow, Mixu went for a burrow for a while. I think he cancelled it. For a second he was going for burrow roaches, but then he changed his mind.
Yeah, Tunneling Claws was on the way as well. I would have loved to have seen it. Instead, he just has pure Roach. No, not even any Ravagers. And to be fair, he doesn't need them because we only have 1 sentry, so Ravagers aren't necessary. It would be nice though, it would be nice.
It would be nice, but roaches are pretty good and they're about to have +2 attacks soon, so they may be pretty good against this Protoss army.
Yeah, exactly. He's just getting ready for the engagement. This is the problem with Curious Minds. This 3rd base is so open, it is so exposed, and just like that, he pulls the trigger and he dives on top of the Protoss army.
Yeah, beautiful surround on the whole army. The Archons are standing strong, but all of the buffer is gone. The Immortal falls down, the Archons fall down, and this base is going down.
Yeah, there is nothing left standing here for AZTEX. GG! Good luck in the next round. And Mixu takes the series to 0.
GG.
GG, well played. Congratulations to our Finnish Zerg player Mixu for taking that series and yeah, for moving on into the round of 32.
Yeah, congratulations. Let me quickly open up the bracket here. Who is he gonna face next?
That is a good question. Boy, as I'm
EU
just...
bracket is actually big enough that I have to search for players. Okay, so on the other side we have Lightweight versus Baby Marine, and they are still playing as far as we know.
Oh, interesting. So, yeah, exclamation mark B in the chat if you want to have a look at the brackets yourselves. Again, it is a very, very large bracket. Oh my god. So it's a little bit daunting. We don't want to get lost in it.
Yeah, as a reminder, if you go to the ESL brackets, in the top right there is the little box that says jump to, and you can pick your favorite player and like just see where they're at.